Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another video. We're on our way to someplace very special, Dinosaur Ridge Monument. Now we got Klaus a gift certificate last Christmas and we haven't had a chance to use it. It's an absolutely gorgeous day. It's dry, it's warm, it's partly cloudy, it's perfect to go play around outside. So, come along, let's go explore the dinosaurs.
Hi girls. Hi.
Okay, another week later and we're back in Morrison to check on our girls. We had to come here anyway because we're going to the Dinosaur Ridge. But depending on how much water, sugar water they took, it will tell us a lot. The hives were fairly light, so hopefully they took it all. And then we brought entrance reducers to put on.
So I like the clear lids of the other ones.
Yep.
Nope, they didn't take it all.
Did they take any?
Yeah, they took some.
Okay. Well, we can top it off while we're here.
Yep.
I'll come in really quick. I don't have a veil and my hair is running free. That's why.
Kind of short. It is down probably to.
So,
they took about 3/4 of what we put in, so it's still
not
working.
too bad. Okay, so they are flying, so I'm going to back out. I don't want them getting trapped in my hair. And they're just very mellow. It's a nice day for this. Right now it's mid to upper 60s.
If they feel I'm threatening their food, they get aggressive. But
yeah, if we were breaking into their place, things would be different. We do have some clouds. This is the first time I've seen clouds in weeks. That's why everything out here is so brown and dry, because although we have the ponds, it's the rest of the place is really dry.
I still got the gallon in, so.
Oh, good.
I think they're happy. They're like, hey, look at this. Okay, take the box, please.
All right.
Thank you. Or as they say in Germany, thank you.
Okay, so that's about it for feeding the bees. We're just going to button it back up.
Well, I'm going to see about putting the entrance.
Oh yeah, there's the entrance reducer. So let me set this down. Okay, so and we'll have to show you what an entrance reducer is a little later.
Okay.
When Hal's not upsetting the bees.
Yeah, they're getting in.
So if you see, focus here, those sticks right there. You can see that there's a notch on the one end. There's actually two notches, a short one that you see there and then one you can't see. But the notch is, that's called a small. And so we put that on the front of the hive in the winter time. It reduces the airflow.
Is that a short one? That's right. We'll need the slightly longer one.
Okay.
Take that.
So there you can see the longer one. Won't stay focused. And then the short one there. So he's trying to get one of these.
Nope.
We usually do this at night.
Too wide. Here, I'm going to figure something out because that seems too thick. I may have to get in and lift and
Yeah.
put, with which I don't want to do that. And these, there's a bit of a gap. Well, that one's shorter. Let me try this one. Third time's a charm.
Sometimes.
For them, they're going to nail my ass.
We usually do this in the dark. when the girls are a lot less active. Or we'll do it with protection.
Nope.
But they're just not fitting, so we're gonna...
Didn't buy any Trojans, so no protection.
We're gonna leave it the way it is. Entrance reducers are great for the winter, but we're still in the 50s. 40, that probably gets down to 40s up here.
Hi. Well, I was trying to help you out so you didn't have to have so many guards on duty.
Anyway, so thanks for watching this part of our film. Now we get to go have lunch and check out the dinosaurs.
Yay, sticky.
And we're here at Dinosaur Ridge Park. A couple of interesting little things here. We just finished a nice lunch. And we're gonna go sit over here at the bus stop with Hal and Klaus and wait for the bus. It's in about 10 minutes. So we're gonna kind of relax a little bit before we get on our tour. Now I did record a lot of this, but I don't think it's fair to put the entire tour on YouTube. It's something that you really do need to come and see for yourself. So right now we're getting ready to enter the gate, and while we're doing that we are learning about the Stegosaurus. The Stegosaurus is the Colorado state fossil, so just like we have a bird, which is the lark bunting, and the tree, which is the blue spruce, we also have the Stegosaurus, which is the Colorado state fossil. It was first found in Colorado, and it was named the year that Colorado became a state, which is why the Stegosaurus is Colorado's fossil. Now I will do my best to try to remember everything that the lady said and all about what it is that we're seeing. So what we see right here is called a hogback. Colorado is filled with them. And they call them that because when you look at it from a distance, it looks like the back of a hog. It's nice and rounded. And the way that these are formed is, if you look down further, you will see something, a big crack called a fault line. And one of the plates, or part of the ground, pushed up underneath the other part of the ground, raising it up. And that is what causes a hogback. Here, you're going to start seeing the landscape change a little bit. You'll start seeing these flat rocks. This is called shale. Now, originally, shale is found at the bottom of the ocean or big bodies of water. Now, this shale you're not allowed to dig through because it is protected by the federal government, as this is a national park. But if you were to dig in here, you would find fossils and remnants of animals that you would only find in an ocean. You would find teeth from water dinosaurs, as well as fish bones and remnants of fish. So there you can see it's Colorado below the sea. Sorry, we weren't allowed out of the bus, so it was really hard to kind of get all of this in. But so yes, this is evidence that at one time Colorado happened to be underwater. Or at least part of it did, before the mountains popped up. And as we leave the shale behind, you will see that the mountain changes. It changes from shale to sandstone. Now, sandstone is just like it sounds. It is stone that is made from sand. It's just hardened sand. And you can see the little ripples in the sandstone. And they believe that that was caused from the water washing up onto it. They say this was beachfront property, and it runs all the way down to New Mexico. At least it did at one point. Now, with Colorado being oceanfront property, you can imagine that all the water around here to drink was salt water. That's a problem for both the dinosaurs and anything else living in the area. But we're coming up here to this little colorful dinosaur. This was called Crocodile Creek. And it was called Crocodile Creek because if you see just above the sign there's a green flashy light. She's pointing at it. Those are claw marks, they believe, from crocodiles. And they have found evidence of crocodiles living up on this mountain as well. So that's how Crocodile Creek got its name. And it was a fresh source of water that I don't know if it came from a spring or runoff or what, they didn't really say. And here you can see some little dinosaur tracks in the going up the side of the mountain there, but they're not stopping. They said that's not the real big sightseeing one. So as we pull up to this gate here, then we'll get to stop and see some real dinosaur tracks. And I'll try to explain what it is that we're looking at here. Now here we have footprints from the iguanodon. Now the iguanodon is up in the top corner of the screen there. We saw that at the beginning. It has 3 flat toes in the back and then a hook in the front. And so when it would walk on all fours, it would leave this weird pattern with 3 flat toes and a hook. And we can see this pattern follow all the way up the mountain. And so we get an idea of its size because of its stride. And you can see here that there may have been a herd, or at least 2 or 3 of them walking through here. If you look here at the top of the red ring, you will see something from one of the largest raptors that flew around, and it is called the Utah raptor. The velociraptor was actually one of the smaller ones, but it sounds better than Utah raptor, so that's why it was used in the movies. But here are some of the footprints that you can see that they would have left behind after catching prey, or just maybe getting a drink or sunning themselves. Now here we travel back even further in time into something called mudstone. And mudstone obviously is just some mud that has dried out and hardened and turned into stone. Now as we come up this mountain here, we're going to pull up where there are some very unusual dinosaur tracks. And I'll explain those here in just a minute, but I will see if you can find them. They're not in the frame yet. Let's see here. So we get off the bus. There we go. Now we'll see if you can find those dinosaur tracks. I'm actually looking right at one. And you could see that the guy was pointing it out there. It was close, but no cigar for the gentleman that was pointing out the dinosaurs. So what she's showing is that most dinosaur tracks that we have seen and what we noticed so far are indented. So that means that their foot sank in and we see a footprint that's hollow. You could pour water into it or make a cast out of it. But these footprints here are a little different. And as you can see here, and I've circled a couple of these are actually down on the mud bed where they stepped from above and their foot came all the way down. And they believe that this footprint was made by an animal called the Patasaurus, who is also up in the top corner of your screen. So what happened is they were walking up above and they were that big that they stepped and it came all the way down, and you can see she's pointing out here how the layer underneath even shifts. So she says that this is the two back legs of the dinosaur, and so you can tell how big the stride was and how big the animal was just by looking at the footprints through the mud. And here she's talking about over there in the distance, which you can't really see here. There's something called Red Rocks, and Red Rocks, they turned it into an amphitheater. It's actually pretty cool to look at. If you've never been there, it's a great place to go listen to a concert. And here we see some of our very first fossils. They're kind of the darker spots on the rock there. And here you can see there's a little round piece next to the sign. That is an actual bone that was sheared in half, and then the two little things above it are parts of a different bone. So the bone isn't any harder or softer than the rock around it. So when the rock broke off, the bone broke off with it. And here she's just pointing out the little round bone. And she said the reason that you don't see a lot of texture on it is because it's been subject to weather, of course, wind, rain, and snow. And the honor system, you're not supposed to touch any of these things, but at Dinosaur Ridge, you are welcome to go and hike around. So you can touch stuff, but you're not supposed to. So who knows how many people have walked up and touched it. And then as we walk over here, you will be able to see another dark spot in here that is another fossil. And
what we're looking at here is actually the pelvic bone or the hip bone
of
a big
pelvic
apatosaurus.
bone.
The reason why we say apatosaurus is because we're finding those
They
apatosaurus
believe that it's from
footprints
apatosaurus
there too.
because they've been
Chances
finding
most
a
likely
lot of
the same,
apatosaurus bones in this area.
animals.
And chances are
Right
it's
over
a smaller
here, this is the
one,
part I want
and
y'all to
it
pay
might have
attention to.
just
This little bit skinnier
died
and
and they
sharper
don't know
bit.
what happened.
Now, I've had some people tell me that that's an Allosaurus rib bone. I've had other people tell me that that is a continuous part of this pelvic bone.
So
Either
this is
way,
only
I'll have you guys
half
keep
of
that
this
shape
bone.
in mind because it'll
What
help you to
happened
see
is,
why this
just
is my
like with
favorite
the little
fossil.
round bone
As
that
we
we
actually
saw
continue
earlier,
down over to this
the rock broke, and if you look at this shape and then we look over here where Klaus is kind of pointing, it's hard to see with the shadow, but that's the other half of that pelvis bone. And so you really get kind of like two bones for the price of one, because you've got one down here and then one up above. And another unique thing about this area right here is that this is where the Stegosaurus was first found. Now, the person that first found the Stegosaurus didn't exactly know what it is that he had found, so he called out a specialist. And they thought that it was a very rare event, that there was just, perhaps this one thing. But they didn't realize that Colorado is one of the richest places for dinosaur bones around. And so as they started digging more, this was quarry number 5, they found more and more bones. In fact, there were so many of them that when they were putting in the road that you see down there, they found lots and lots of bones. But when you're putting in a road, you don't exactly care about protecting the natural environment and the bones around you. So after the road was put in, then the archaeologists came in and said, okay, well, this is where the bones are when they put in the road, the layer. And so they started to dig down to that same layer, and they started to find more and more bones. And so this is an interesting site just because this is the place where the first Stegosaurus was found, and kind of opened up the archaeologists' ideas into finding more and more dinosaur bones here in Colorado and other surrounding areas. concludes our tour of Dinosaur Ridge. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, share, subscribe. Doing all of those things really helps the channel to grow, lets other people view, find us. We want to keep growing and we want to keep sharing things with you guys. So make sure to click the like button and subscribe button, and we will see you next time. Please do not feed the dinosaurs.